Hello, you guys. Welcome to Tuesday's Topic with Tay. I am so glad you were able to make it to my page. I hope you are doing well. I hope all is well in your body, in your mind, in your heart. I know we missed last week. It was intentional. I have just been taking a break from social media, so my appearance on social media has been very limited. And thank you for being patient with me in that whole process. So today, real quickly, I want to talk about self-reflection versus condemnation, and kind of the difference between the two, and how, not having a balance between self-reflection or having your conscience be overly sensitive can limit you. So when it comes to self-reflection, for instance, if someone were to say, okay, you have a bad attitude, or I feel this way about you, a person who is arrogant or prideful or stubborn and don't even take the time or opportunity to kind of evaluate themselves and their, whatever they're being accused of. A person whose heart is hardened and not even open to self-reflection is not going to do that. They're going to basically revert the issue back onto you and not even take a moment to say, okay, was I or did I? A person who is set in their ways is not even going to take the opportunity to even evaluate if they hurt you or offended you. And then you have the other extreme where a person is their conscience is overly sensitive. And so anything someone accuses them of, they're automatically condemning themselves like, well, maybe I did. I'm such a bad person. Nobody likes me. Why can't I ever make anybody happy? Will I ever change? Like it almost puts them in a depressed state because they turn into having this people-pleasing attitude, and they walk around with this notion that people are going to already shut them out or not like them because they always feel that they're misunderstood, or they automatically feel people aren't going to like them. So they walk around with this self-condemning mood and attitude. They're not even open to new people because they already have concluded nobody likes me because people think this about me, but they don't really know me. So you want to be careful. You want to have a balance between self-reflecting and, for one, I like to first evaluate the person who is giving me this information in regards to myself, or if I have offended them, because at the end of the day, you can lie to a person and you can say, oh, I'm not that way, or I didn't do that, but you sit with your own thoughts, so if you did or not. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be honest with yourself. And a lot of people will actually be aware that they did offend you or they did hurt you, but they will deny to your face that they did it because they're so arrogant and prideful that they don't want to admit that they were actually in fact wrong. And that right there is very bad. Why? Because you are limiting your growth. No one can get through to you. No one can. You don't even have the capability to even self-reflect because you think that you have it all together. You think that you're perfect. And so that actually limits you off from people. And we got to keep in mind that in life, we're on a journey. We're going places. We're doing things. We should be trying to build. We should be trying to grow. And if you are cutting off every voice to you, you are limiting your growth. You are stunting your growth in your abilities, in your ability to, maneuver throughout the world and to do things. You can't get stuck in the mindset that, okay, I'm here in this spot and this is where I'm going to end up. No, believe it or not, God does have plans for you to grow and move. His vision for you is not to be stagnant and stay in one spot. So when you cut off the voices of people who are trying to speak life into you, or, they say iron sharpens iron. If you are cutting off the people who can potentially be showing you your mess, you are preventing yourself from growing and moving forward. Because what if you are a, world-renowned leader, or, God is calling you to the nations or doing big things. If you are so stuck in your own vision of what you think life is, you have just cut yourself off. Okay. And then you have the person who is so sensitive to not wanting to offend people, that anytime a person looks at you wrong, or you get a sense of somebody being mad at you, you go into this spiral of like, what did I do? What did I say? Oh my gosh, are they mad at me? Oh my gosh, do they like me? And you become a people pleaser. You're being tossed about by everybody's expectation and need, that you don't even know your real self, because you're making moves and decisions based off of what somebody else wants from you. And let me tell you something. If in fact you are able to self-reflect and be like, dang, I messed up, let me go apologize, or let me go, make this right with my friend. I would think that, for one, it takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage to tell somebody like your heart, to apologize, to come to them in humility and say, you know what? I see this. I see where I was wrong. I see where I messed up. For that person to take that situation and be like, yeah, you did that. You are messed up. And you did this 15 years ago. And you did this and you did that. You have just not only denied that person the freedom to ever come to you and be vulnerable with you, but now you got to get right with God. Because none of us can get so beside ourselves that we forget we got our own stuff. We are not always honest. We are not always being the very best person we could possibly be, or the very best friend we could be, or the very best mother, or what have you. So for you to become arrogant and be like, yeah, you messed up, or to bring it up to somebody like, yeah, you did this last year and you did this, like, who are you to do that? Who are you to make someone feel downcast and condemn them? For one, for coming to you and even admitting their fault. Who are you to then throw a stone and cast judgment on them? What should be is a mutual, you know what? Thank you. I appreciate that. Because we're supposed to be trying to, the Bible says we are the hands and feet of Christ, right? We are doing the active work of his spirit, right? So if a person is coming to you and being vulnerable with their heart, it's supposed to be, a mutual exchange of acknowledgement. If you don't feel like you need to apologize in that moment, then okay, maybe you don't. Or maybe you do need to apologize, but you're so arrogant and prideful that you can't even see the error in your own ways. And at the end of the day, it's not for that person to point out your stuff to you because clearly you're not ready. You know what I'm saying? But we can't get so stuck in our self that we can't be told nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to come down off of our high horse and realize that everything that we do, no matter how minor or how big, in some way, shape, or form, it affects somebody. You know? And we all have flaws. We all have issues. But when it comes to love, when it comes to forgiveness, it's a daily thing. It is a daily thing. Some of y'all be asking for forgiveness from doing the same thing over and over. Or, you know, some of you are forgiving a person who's doing the same thing over and over. And you be like, okay, well, obviously you're not sorry because you keep doing it. And, you know, there are some times where people cut off those relationships, you know. But that's for you to decide. At the end of the day, we are called to be good stewards of, for one, the forgiveness and grace that God has given us. If God has shown you mercy and grace, you need to pay it forward and do that for the next person. Because your shit do stink. So don't walk around acting like you've never hurt nobody. You've never offended nobody. It's okay to self-reflect. Some of y'all are afraid to self-reflect because you're going to really see that you ain't got it together. You do hurt people. You do manipulate. You do lie. You do cheat. You know, and sometimes we like to put on this. We want to tell ourselves lies. Well, I did it because of this. And at the end of the day, like, the outcome was good. And it's like, okay, well, that's between you and God. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, don't be afraid to self-reflect. But at the same time, don't get so caught up in your thoughts and your emotions that you then condemn yourself. You condemn yourself. You are so afraid to make new friends, go and do different things and adventure out because you are expecting people not to like you. You are expecting people to misunderstand you. And sometimes people can be intimidated just by you being you. You ain't even got to say hi. But potentially there is something on you that people are intimidated by. You carry a presence that intimidate people. You know, who knows? Maybe your light is just so bright. You know what I'm saying? People are unsure if you're gonna like them. And here you are thinking like, they're not gonna like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not gonna like you. And they got the same feeling. You know, I know we live in a day and time where it's dangerous to share your heart. It's dangerous to be open with people. And you do have to have wisdom because people don't like mushy stuff. People don't like feelings or none of that. You know what I'm saying? So you do have to be wise. But at the end of the day, let's be honest. Let's be real. And if a person cannot see that, I don't care if you can't communicate effectively or you're not saying the right words to get a point, to get across your point as far as what you truly feel. A person should be able to discern your spirit. They should be able to soften their heart and be like, okay, this is where they're coming from. This is what they meant to say and how they meant to say it. Like, I know my sister enough to know this is what she's saying, and this is what my spouse is saying. But some of y'all get so caught up in your own experiences with other people. Oh, she said this just like that other person said this, so she must have meant this. And it's like, no, you have to take a person for who they are the experiences you've had with them, and evaluate that. A lot of y'all want to believe so bad that a person is dead, evil. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting because a lot of times we see in people what's in us. A lot of times we see in people what's in us, because how do you know what that is? How do you know unless you've experienced it? You know what I'm saying? Or was affected by it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So let's not get so caught up, for one, in trying to please people, because they will have you lightweight worshiping them. Because you need to apologize this many times. You need to do this many times. And then I might feel like you're worthy of a high. Or I might feel like you're worthy of my attention or affection. Cut them loose. Kick rocks. They are not God. They are not your creator. Cut them loose. There are going to be offenses in relationships. Someone will get hurt. But you have to acknowledge each individual has a part. Each individual has a part. Whether your part was 80% or 20%. At the end of the day, it's okay to self-reflect and be like, you know what? Did I offend you? You know what? You did. And this is what you said that offended me. Dang, my bad, sis. My fault. Well, what can I do next time? Like, how can we not have this happen? Well, you can do A, B, and C. That would make me feel okay, or whatever. Okay, well, it may take me a minute, because I'm not used to that. But thank you for being honest. Thank you for being real with me. And you go from there. That's how you build trust. That's how you build a friendship. But all this, hey, what's up with you? And then behind, oh, I can't stand her. Oh, she good on my nerves. And you expect to grow? You expect to flourish in your relationships? You know what I'm saying? I would rather a person tell me, you know what, like, this is why I don't like you. Or this is why, I said let's hang out and I didn't call you back when you tried to link up to go hang out. You know what I mean? Like, we got to get it together for sure. So, to recap and to finalize this, it's okay to self-reflect, but do not get so in your thoughts that you begin to condemn yourself. That you think people hate you. You think God hates you. You have just allowed a cloud to hover over you. And if you want to keep it spiritual, can't nobody even see you in the spirit realm, because you walking around with this cloud of judgment over you that nobody likes you. No one's going to understand you. So you, like, your whole mood is just like, But God has a purpose for you. He has somewhere for you to be. And you can't get stuck in wondering what people think about you. I'm telling you, it's probably one of the hardest things that is to break, because we want to be connected. We want to, have relationships. But if you got your solid team, you know what I'm saying, you got like 3 people, or 4 people that you can really, really depend on, who's going to be honest with you, and then you'll ride or die, like, no matter the situation, they going to rock with you, you winning. You winning. You winning. So, I didn't come on here to cuss nobody out. But I was very passionate about this topic because it's near and dear to me. Because I've been on both spectrums. And I see the tricks of the enemy. You know what I'm saying? And it's my prayer for you that if you're dealing with that, that breaks. That you're able to come out of that. That you're able to accept yourself and your flaws, and you release them to God, and whoever is for you, they're going to love you, even in your mess. Even in your mess. Let me tell you this last thing. Even when God is dealing with us and showing us, He is gentle. And I don't mean like patty cake, oh, you know, you kind of do have this problem. What I mean by is the things that He could tell you about yourself, ooh, that kind of hurts, but it's true. But it's not to break you. It's not to, when I say break, like it's not meant to destroy you, to destroy your confidence. It's not meant to destroy your identity. It's meant to build you. So a person's words have an effect, right? So how they tell you about yourself or how they speak to you, how do I say? The effect of those words is going to tell you if it's from God or not. Because somebody can say something to you that is brutally honest, but be true, you know what I'm saying, like regarding you, but do it in a way that respects you as a human being. You know what I'm saying? The words are not going to be to tear you down, to break you as a person, to tear down your confidence. It's not going to do that. God's not going to do that. He's not trying to make you depressed and make you feel condemned or unworthy. You know, it may hurt. It may hurt your feelings, like, man, you know, man, can I be manipulative? Like, dang, that's messed up. But now if you take that and you go into the corner and you sulk and you're like, oh my gosh, like, how could I be such a cruel person? How many people have I hurt? Am I even worthy to move forward in life? Like, when people look at me, do they see, oh, stay away from this person? Like, you just going all type of crazy. One thing I know for sure, and two things for certain. If God wants to pinpoint something in your heart that He wants to get rid of and for, you know, wants you to grow from, He's going to do it. He's going to do it, and He's going to respect you in doing it. Okay? But don't you get so high and mighty that you can't be told nothing about yourself. Because remember, this is for a purpose. God has somewhere for you to be. He has people for you to connect with. Okay? So let Him deal with you. Let Him make you over. Let Him reshape you. Do whatever He has to do. You know, He's the potter. We are the clay. Let Him mold you into the person He wants you to be. Okay? Don't worship nobody. You know what I'm saying? You are to please God. And if you put anything and anybody above God, that's worship. You're worshiping that thing or that person. Lastly, even if the information that's being brought to you is not from God, He can still use it for your benefit. So either way, you win. Either way, you win. You got me? Either way, you win. So keep your head up. Regardless of your flaws, you are still the shit. Regardless of who you have hurt, you are still the apple of God's eye. It's okay to look inward. But even if you find something that doesn't look so good, give it to God and move forward. Okay? All right? God's got you. He's got you. So stop condemning yourself. Stop beating yourself up. Acknowledge it. Keep it moving. If you gotta over and over explain to somebody who you are and what you meant, you are wasting your time and wasting your energy. If they can't sense your spirit, if they can't get where you're coming from in your heart, don't even waste your time. Just like, okay, cool. All right. Well, you take care and go on about your business. Go on about your business. All right. You guys, be awesome. If you are interested in purchase any of my products, remember to go online at pickedbytay.com. You guys have a good evening. I know this is a little bit different time for us. But thank you for tuning in. And I hope you guys be blessed. Peace.